Okay, the print-on-demand news this month has been insane. There is an amazing new AI art app, DALL-E 3, which probably has Midjourney very scared because not only is it completely free to use, but they're practically paying people to use it. Canva has also announced that they're gonna start giving away free money to people that use their app, and they've created some amazing new AI features. RedBubble is struggling to compete against Etsy, so much so that their non-executive director has resigned. Printful and Printify have released some new products which are very trendy right now. Oh, and ChatGPT is getting sued again. Seriously, there has been so much insane news, and if you have missed it, don't worry, because I have rounded up all of the big news stories so that you don't have to. Okay then, let's start out by discussing how ChatGPT has been slammed with another huge copyright lawsuit. And this time, the lawsuit against ChatGPT is by some of the most famous authors in the world, such as George Martin, who wrote Game of Thrones. Their lawsuit states that ChatGPT is a massive commercial enterprise that is reliant upon systematic theft on a mass scale. And to back that up, the lawsuit showed examples of books that ChatGPT wrote that it could not have written unless it had scanned the Game of Thrones books. One of the examples that's mentioned in the lawsuit is an incident that happened in July this year when a developer named Liam Sorn created a project where he used ChatGPT to write the 2 final books of the Game of Thrones series. He even published it for free on GitHub, although it seems that he's now removed it because it was included in the lawsuit. So I do agree with the Authors Guild that it does seem clear that ChatGPT did scan the Game of Thrones novels. However, this also reminds me of a different copyright lawsuit that ChatGPT is involved in. And that is a lawsuit from Sarah Silverman. She's a comedian who sued ChatGPT for similar copyright issues, and ChatGPT did submit a request to dismiss most of the lawsuit that's currently pending. In response to it, OpenAI said, those claims, however, misconceive the scope of copyright, and they also said that the lawsuit fails to take into account the limitations and exceptions, including fair use, that properly leave room for innovations like the large language models now at the forefront of artificial intelligence. Is what ChatGPT doing stealing and copyright infringement, or is it instead fair use for ChatGPT to scan and train using books? It's a pretty controversial issue, so I'd be interested in your thoughts in the comments. But it does look like ChatGPT isn't going anywhere soon. OpenAI did release an interesting statement saying, "We respect the rights of writers and authors and believe that they should benefit from AI technology. We're having productive conversations with many creators around the world, including the Authors Guild, and have been working cooperatively to understand and discuss their concerns about AI." So, in other words, it doesn't look like the Authors Guild wants to shut down ChatGPT. Instead, they just want money, and they're currently in the process of negotiating royalties. So this probably isn't going to stop ChatGPT, but it probably is going to be very expensive for them. So, now onto a big news story that most people missed, and that is that RedBubble's non-executive director is resigning. Yep, Jennifer McDonald, the non-executive director for RedBubble, announced that she's going to be stepping down from her role on October 24th, and Anna Ward, chair of RedBubble, thanked her in a statement and noted that she had helped RedBubble navigate during a challenging period. And honestly, calling this year a challenging period is kind of an understatement. A lot of people were upset when RedBubble increased their seller fees this year, but I was honestly not surprised because RedBubble has been losing a lot of money this year. In the previous financial year, they lost 54 million Australian dollars. And that's because, like a lot of companies, RedBubble massively expanded because they had a huge sales boom during COVID. During COVID, their business rapidly grew, largely off of the back of their very successful face mask business, which exploded. They went from making a $3 million loss to making over $40 million in 6 months in 2021. And so they created grand plans to invest the money and scale their business to try and compete with giants like Etsy, which in retrospect may have been a little bit too ambitious. They probably should have waited to see if the demand for face masks was going to last. And so that is why this year they had to massively cut costs. In January, they cut 14% of their staff. And then in May, they cut staff again by 23%. In total, they have cut $45 million in annual expenses so far. So RedBubble does look like it's getting back into its stable pre-COVID position. However, will it ever overtake Etsy to become the biggest print-on-demand marketplace in the world? At this rate, I highly doubt it. So then, let's now take a look at some trendy new products that Printify has released. So Printify has released a lot of new products lately. They have added in a range of different shirts from different print providers, and they've also added in some extra blankets. But more exciting, they have added two very trendy items to their catalog. The first is a doormat. With a Printify subscription, you can get these for about $22, and over on Etsy, they go for over $30, especially if they're customized. So there are some interesting opportunities there, and one of my favorite Printify print shops, Printed Mint, has released a glass ornament bundle. With a Printify subscription, they cost less than $11. And as I mentioned in my last news video, ornaments right now are a very trendy product. Just one clever ornament by itself can sell for $10 to $20. And so the fact that you can buy 6 of them for $11 could, I think, lead to some interesting opportunities for sellers. Plus, Printful has released some new products too. Yep, like Printify, they have released some new clothing items as well. And like Printify, they also have a new blanket. But, and this took me by surprise, they've added in wrapping paper to their catalog. It costs about $8-ish. And so when I saw this, I thought, could you actually put a big enough markup on that price to make it worth it? So I went over to Etsy and I did see that some people are successfully selling them for sometimes up to and even over $25. So you know, if you've got an interesting product idea for it, maybe give it a shot. So then, let's now discuss some massive news that could change everything. The AI art app DALL-E 3 is out and it's free. Yes. It's crazy. If I were Midjourney, I'd be legitimately scared because Microsoft went ahead and updated their AI art app, DALL-E, and then they just went and made it completely free by adding it into the Bing image creator. To access it, you just log into your Microsoft account and then go to bing.com/images/create and you just type in what you want it to make and then you click create. And Bing will generate 4 different images that you can choose from. And if you want to download an image, you just click on it and then select download it, and that's it. It's super simple and easy to use, no Discord required. And something else that it can do is it can generate images with text in it, which is something that Midjourney still struggles to do. And there's something else that I haven't seen anybody else on YouTube mention, but they might have and I might have not seen it. If you ask DALL-E to create a typography design, it will do so. This is something that Midjourney is just not yet capable of doing well, and so this is huge. And again, it needs to be said, unlike with Midjourney, the images I'm generating here are completely free. When you first get started, you'll be given free credits. I think they're giving out credits either every week or every month, and currently it's 25 credits. Although I have seen reports that they were giving up to 100 free credits a day, so this might change. When you do an image generation, it will use up a credit. Now, this will make the image generate faster, so it's called a boost. When you run out of credits, it does keep generating images for you for free, but it takes longer. Some people I've seen have waited 30 seconds and had it generate free images really fast. Others have had to wait hours. It seems to depend upon how loaded their servers are. But here is the real kicker. When you use the app, you're kind of being paid to use it. That is because each time you generate an image, you'll notice that you get reward points for your account. These are Microsoft reward points. You can then cash these out to get gift cards. So not only do you get free images, but you get free gift cards too. And so even though Midjourney is clearly the better app that consistently creates much higher quality images, I'm sure for some people, this is going to become their new go-to app, especially if they're generating simple pictures. But speaking of getting things for free, that reminds me of today's sponsor, me. Yes, due to shady YouTube sponsors, I am for now choosing to sponsor my own videos, and I am sponsoring it today to let you know that if you'd like to learn how I and others earn passive income from selling free images, such as AI art images, you should be sure to download my free ebook, which I'll have a link to in the video description below. It currently has a 4.17 star out of 5 rating on Goodreads, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much to everybody that has reviewed it. Plus, I also have a step-by-step video course, the Ecom Clubhouse, which shows you how I turn free images, like AI art images, into print-on-demand products to sell. If you would like to build a print-on-demand store side-by-side with me, be sure to check out my course, which I will have a link to in the video description below. But anyway, back to the video. So let's now discuss how Canva is also going to start paying people to use their app. Yes, so almost nobody is talking about this, but Canva has recently set aside $200 million to pay designers to effectively use their app. If you opt into their creative fund, you'll get paid to let Canva use your designs to train its AI. Adams, one of Canva's founders, said, "With the new creative fund, creators get access to a royalty pool that is aligned with AI creations." Basically, it seems like each time that their AI uses one of your designs as part of its training, you'll get paid. It reminds me a lot of what Microsoft is doing with its free reward points, and it honestly has me pretty excited. We're probably seeing the very beginning of a brand new type of side hustle or income stream, which is getting paid to use apps in exchange for training them. I couldn't find any more details yet, but as long as everybody is enjoying these news videos, I will keep you posted. Plus, in addition, Canva also released some very cool AI art features. Yes, so at the same time as that announcement, they also announced the Magic Studio, which is Canva's effective AI app homepage. Here you can access all of their AI apps, including their new ones. And out of their new ones, these are the ones that I am most excited for. The first is the Magic Design tool. You click on this and describe whatever type of social media ad post that you want Canva to create, and it will generate original templates for you from scratch that you can use. And the second is the Magic Expand tool. This lets you take images that have been uploaded as photos, and then it expands them out with Canva's AI technology generating the expanded image for you. I think that this could be really interesting for creating bigger images to then print onto all over print products. And the third app is DALL-E. Yes, this past month, Canva also added in DALL-E as a free app. You can generate AI art images with it too. You currently get 25 free credits a month. And the fourth app that I'm excited for is the Magic Morph tool. This lets you select images and text and then change how they look by just describing what you want them to look like. I think that as this gets better, it's going to become really interesting to create some pretty cool typography designs, and so I'm excited to see how it evolves. So then, the news has been pretty insane, hasn't it? What do you think of any of these new revelations? Let me know in the comments. And to learn more about my favorite tips and tricks to use Canva, be sure to watch my video here on screen. I'll see you in the next video.